Hello, tribal lovers. Today we're going to talk about Angola. Angola and its wonderful ethnic groups, its history and ecosystem. But of course, our focus will be the tribal groups because that's the main focus of our travel company, Last Places. Visiting these last cultural groups that they keep their own way of living, their idiosyncrasy, their cosmology, what makes them special. So Angola, it's a country in Austral Africa, in the southern part of Africa, south of Congo, north of Namibia. Um, it's a country that I visited coming from Namibia in 2014, and I fell in love with the country. It's very special. It's unique in Africa, in the world. Why? First of all, as a Catalan, as a Spaniard, I was surprised due to the Latino atmosphere. No, this country was colonized by the Portuguese for 500 years. 500 years, and you can feel it in the language, of course, but also in the architecture. You know, in Namibia, the Germans stayed 100 years. In Zambia, the British stayed another 80, 100 years. The Belgians up north in Congo, 1 century. Portugal stayed in Angola 500 years, and this well, that makes a difference. No, the food, the language, the music, the structure of the country, everything is very Latino. It's very European. It's very Mediterranean. It's very near to my own culture. No, so that was striking coming from a German country and focused in tourism and nature. You get there. I got to Chitado. It was a colonial town founded in the 1920s. That was the last part of Angola to be colonized as late as the 1920s. And that area, I found like an empty swimming pool surrounded by colonial buildings, a bit Art Deco style, full of bullets, no, because the war had ended in 2002, just 12 years before. And Vietnamese workers building the new town hall. And in between that urban structure, the empty swimming pool, like an Olympic swimming pool in the middle of the town. Himba people, Hakaona, Dimba, wow. Vietnamese workers with their Viet Cong hat, yes, because they were from rural parts of Vietnam. No, Angola has a socialist government, so they were receiving help from socialist Asian governments. Tribes, architecture, I say, oh my God, that's completely different to what I've seen in other parts of Africa. And I've traveled and lived in Africa for many years now. So I said, then I penetrated the country. I went inside, I looked and looked, and since then we opened a DMC there, and we started operating and trying to help the tribes to keep the culture, to restore some old buildings. We're there fully. So in this time, we've classified 16 ethnic groups, yeah, mainly situated in 3 provinces of the south, in the southwest. Sorry, that's the Huila province. It's a plateau. Then you have the Kunene province in the border with Namibia, near on the Kunene River, the natural border, and then Namibe province. It comes from the word Namiv, due to the desert. It's a desert area. In those 3 provinces, you have 16 different ethnic groups divided in 3 socioeconomic groups. No, first of all, the hunter and gathering groups. We've got 5 of them. We're working on a guide that we'll share with you through our blog and through the technologies, because nowadays that's the world. I'm the old school, but we're gonna present this visual tribal guide soon, very soon, about the 16 ethnic groups in Angola. So first, hunter-gatherers, we have Sans, we have Chimbas, we have Tuas, we have Kwepe, wonderful ethnic groups in transition towards sedentarization, towards settling permanently. But we still find these semi-nomadic or complete nomadic ethnic groups living among two other groups. First, hunter-gatherers. Second, pastoralists, cattle herders, and mainly concentrated in the Cunene area, moving from the river to the plateau, depending on the season, on the rains, on the grass. Have the Himbas that you also find them in Namibia and are well known by all of us. The Himba are one of the most iconic tribes in the world. But then we have the Hakaonas, we have the Dimbas with their wonderful hairstyle. Here in Angola, we don't have this scarification or tattooing as body modification, as identity. We have the hairstyles, of course, and the dress and the bangles and the jewelry and the language, of course. But in aesthetic terms, scarification is only practiced by three ethnic groups, two of them up north, that I'll talk about the north at the end of this talk, and then the Handa people in the southwest. So hunter-gatherers, pastoralists, semi-nomadic in the Cunene area, and in the Huila Plateau, the most fertile area where agriculture is possible, we have the agriculturalists. They have some cattle, but they're sedentary, they're settled there, they have big villages, and those are also Bantu speaking. They belong to the Nyaneka linguistic group, and there's the mountain Muila, the plain Muila, the Handa, the Humbi with their magnificent parabolic look or elephant look hairstyles. You can learn more about these ethnic groups in our blog if you travel there with us or through another company, and through our guide that we'll soon publish. And to finalize, the beauty of Angola is the southwest and its tribes. But up north, an area that most tour operators don't visit, in the border with Congo, you have an area around Dundo. Dundo is the diamond producing area. It suffered a lot during the civil war that was from 1975 until 2002. Imagine, one of the longest wars in the world. So you have the Chokwe. Chokwe are one of the best artists in Africa. Their masks, they still produce masks. And most of the works of art, they're in Portugal, in Lisbon, in Oporto, and in American museums, European museums, private collections. But the fine art they produce, mainly masks, stools, and headdress, they were wonderful. They're still wonderful, but of course the technique has eroded. There's less production. Missionaries went there, a lot of things got lost. A war also affected. But there in Dundu you have a beautiful museum that was restored after the war, and this tribal group. They're dressed not as the tribes we've been speaking about, that they still keep their own looks, their own tribal looks. They've adopted new Western things, but they're still authentic. The Chokwe dress like Western style, like us, but their masquerades and their villages and their tattoo, only found in the older generations, it's very interesting. And we also offer trips to that part of northern Angola. So we're done with Angola. It's one of our favorite babies here in the company. We love it, and we love to share it with all of you. So we're done for today, and hope to see you soon. Ciao.